I would be like,
country. You wonder how there are still people who believe in politicians. Alright, right. Look at the picture. Danny Glover with a younger man you don't recognize. You read the message on the picture. To a true fan, Sakalini. The third picture is of Dan and Danny's bar in the bathroom. In the bottom picture. In the bottom picture. I'm hungry. The date in the corner suggests that the photos was taken around the time of the in inauguration. I think. Yeah. All right. Back. I mean, I had 3 drinks. I moved around. I walked around. Tables in the back. Uh, not talking to nobody. Well, you can't just drink and not talk to nobody. I did hear that, so man, my me talk. So okay, all yeah, I did everything. I talked to the guy, I talked to the bar guy. Should I talk to him more? But you keep talking to him, he's gonna eventually find out you're part of some type of agency, so he's not dumb. So back. Exit. Leaving already, Boulder? Why don't you come here and chat? Oh my god, man. You make a hand gesture and walk to the door? Oh, you make a hand gesture and walk to the door. Ecrosystem. Excrosism on Mexicana. Messiana? Messianaka? Delusion. Sad is at the wheel. Oh, these are some big words. I can't. Isn't that a big word? Shut up. I can't say them all. And the constant threat of being killed. How much more of all this you can take? Shoot, as long as it take not to get killed. That was a cool, chill episode. It wasn't really all that. Uh, yep. You. Jesus, I need some water with all this reading. Your waist hurts. You feel a burning in your esophagus, and on the set of a cramp in your left leg. You try to remember happier times, times when you awoke differently. Ava used to rise before you. The first thing that would greet you was the aroma of coffee wafting from the room. Wafting? Wafting from the kitchen? From the kitchen. After a while, she would enter the room with 2 steaming cups. She'll set them on the beside. She'd set them on the beside table. Jesus Christ. On the bedside table. On the bedside table. Oh my God, I cannot read. In a place and place a kiss on your lips. The coffee would stop steaming and cool in the cups. But neither of you would particularly mind. I don't know if I think I'm reading too fast. I gotta calm down. Years later, Olivia would arrive. And the mornings would be different. Not better nor worse. just different. Suddenly, breathing becomes a struggle. A profound sense of loss engulfs you. It's as if Ava and Olivia were no longer there, as if the accident had really happened, and you can never see them again. You shake your head. How much did you drink last night? You had 3 shots. Calm down. You had 3 beers. You had 3 beers. Chill. I know people who could drink 4 or 5 times and still. Well, no. I had 3 beers. I had a couple beers. I only had like 3 beers. That's it, man. Whoever left you the note had done a good job. The fact that they they did it without you noticing bothers you. You step out the car in the morning, and the morning's chill takes you by surprise. Mile 54. You think about the graphology? Graphology classes at the agency? I think the meeting it's inwitted each other stroked. Yet beyond any theological discourse, you recognize the sender of the message. Could it be could it be actual evidence? Hopefully, because you're on a identity. You're supposed to be this big tough gang member, part of the I forgot what the knights. I'm gonna call them knights, whatever. You look around you. The cars of Bahassin's knights rest like a cattle in the field before the Curricaden rhythms kick in. Look at Vincent Sierra. Look at Monique Sierra. Look at Lucas. Look at Lucas Sierra. Why am I looking at him? I don't know. Vincent sleeps. That's better. You look away for fear of waking him up. All right. Look at Monique's. Of all the Bahassin Knights, Monique is one with whom you find it hardest to strike up a conversation. Stuck up shallow girl. You're not surprised. You were never good at talking to women. Come on, man. You gotta have some player in you, man. Well, you do have. You do have. He's hey, a girl. Well, have some kids. Yeah. So you're not that bad. You think of Ava. If it wasn't for her, you two would never had a first date. Look at Lucas Sierra. You can't stand Luca. His attitude, the way he talks to people, that that giggling, that giggling. You remember your high school years, where unfortunately you crossed paths with several people like him. Exit. You don't want to wake anyone. Last thing you need is any of these psychopaths to tail you, and you only start the engine when you figure you're good and far down the road. Mile 54. What's Tony after at mile 54? 8 miles. Your stomach grumbles. And the gloomy thought crosses your mind. What if this was your last shot at breakfast? You try to think of the Bahassin Knights territory, of the number of barns with that giant red cross slapped on the wall. What will all this look like from above? Cupros was always on about the gap between a map and its territory. And he would shake his head when you said you still hadn't picked up Borges despite his prodding. You order a black coffee, eggs, and bacon. That's always good for breakfast. Personally, me, I like a little extra something like that shrimp and grits or biscuit and gravy with some cheesy eggs. cheesy eggs and some hash browns. We'll squeeze some orange juice with ice cup. Nah, I'm just getting hungry now. Wait, what time is it? Hold on, I ain't gonna lie. I should not be talking about that. 7:46. I'm hungry. If this is your last breakfast, you won't be missing out on anything. All of a sudden, appetite's gone. You dropped your fork on your plate and wonder if maybe if it have been better never having tasted happiness in life. Dude, calm down. Like, calm down, man. I understand you're undercover and you need to do all this stuff, but dude, like, you gotta stop thinking like that. Well, I got a different mindset, but still, man. You feel like you feel the dampness in your eyes and the quiver in your hands. Happiness, that's the worst drug. No. That's no. I feel like meth and crack and sniffing that white girl, which is pretty much the same thing what I just said. Molly. There's so many drugs. Ecstasy. Red ice. Shoot that needle thing. Uh, nah, man. Happiness is not. Well, it could be for some people who are toxic like that. Anyway, back to the show. Withdrawal hits harder than a freight train than a freight train. No, I know it's Cleveland Brown Father's freight train. You just want to head back home. You wish all this to be over. Dang. How much longer you gonna hold out? Cupra had it figured. More than a few times, he yammered about time being the biggest foe for an undercover agent. What was the line he just couldn't quit repeating? Reality is just an illusion. We've gotten used to it. What the? Hold on. There we go. What the? The evidence you left on your daughter's grave is no longer there, but the three holy cards are Father Mario, a holy card used by the agency to catalog the actions of Tony's circle. Saint Cajetan of Athene, used to catalog accounting documentation of the Bahasine Knights, and Mary Undor of Knots. I've never heard of these. I don't go to church, so used to catalog material that could have been forged. Along with these holy cards, you'll find two new ones: Our Lady of Health and Saint. I'm not even gonna pronounce that. Hell! Is hell a cuss word? Whatever. You bend down to pick them up, and you feel a great sense of helplessness. What on earth is your handler looking for? More evidence that Tony's a son of a. Isn't it enough to know Cupra's gone? And Cupra, did he find anything? Or had he simply been discovered? We don't know. Your head's spinning, and you're trying to concentrate, almost as if nature was giving you a sign. You spot the shadows slipping away under the light of the midday sun. Jesus, it's time. The road meanders gently, and you think of Ava. How she swayed to her jam, all graceful and free. It's a stone's throw away now, and you ease off the gas. And there it is, finally.
thought you were showing up. You smile. You never considered that option. Here we are. At mile 54. And it ain't just who've crossed paths at this point, huh? You're familiar with the backstory of the Bahaseen Knights. You like to tell him yes? Hold on. Ooh, narrator, Scott. You like to tell him yes to spill that you're an undercover cop agent? And there's a fat file about it back at the agency. You buy a ticket to see the look on his face. Ask him about your partner, but you just shake your head. Hold on a sec. I guaranteed it's gonna be worth your while. Back in '83, there was this curious happening. Two F5 tornadoes nailed the heart of the county at the same time. Remember what they blabbered about their paths on TV?
It's tough for you to admit, but it only took him 3 sentences to hook up. You remained silent and let him continue telling his story. I was working as a used car salesman back then. Oh, that was back on episode 1. He mentioned something about that. My town took the biggest punch. One tornado slashed it to the south to the north. Later, another one swept in the southwest to the northeast. This way, like a cross. Got saved by a fluke. Tony takes a pause. Town was pretty much wiped out. My boss was a son of a... Mark Fisher. You scour your memory for that name popping up in the agency. And I ain't just tossing that out. I gotta eat some real quick. Focus on the story.
You know what Moniz says about adjectives, right? You don't. But you're glad to have a new topic of conversation with the librarian. Anyway, Mark owed me commission for my last sales. He knew I needed the cash, but didn't give a... Sorry, Jesus Christ. Once the sirens quit wailing, I hoofed into the office. Sift through the brides, clinging to the hope of scoping anything. But I found nothing. The cash box was busted open. Never found out who swiped the money. It wasn't Mark. He died in the storms. Something snapped in me. I started tearing everything apart. Jesus, I keep adding extra words. Like a third tornado ripping through the office. Must have caught the glint of the metal. Behind a picture frame was a key and a legend. Mile 54. I figured Mark had other stuff going on. So without thinking too much, I left the office and I started looking for Mile 54. You got any clue how many Mile 54 markers litter this country? You shake your head and Tony grins. Started off with the closest one, and I didn't find anything. Kept at it. And after a while, landed in this spot. The barn was padlocked, but I got the key. I couldn't believe my eyes. I felt like I stepped into heaven's gates. stretching as far as you could see. All these cars? My boss had them imported from Europe. All these cars? Dang, well, he's from Power then. Jesus. And for some reason, he couldn't sell them just yet.
Know what? Know what a cross is, Boulder? A cross is an intersection, a meeting point. Two tornadoes. A guy in a batch of imported cars. Tony takes a pause. He stares intense. It's hard for you to bear. But also two friends. Or a pair of foes. Each of us carries more than one crosses. The keys knowing which one to flaunt to others. Silence gets heavy. You don't dare to break. Shall we go back, Boulder? You nod. And Tony's words rattle you in your head.
Calm down, like, hey, you cool, keep it under pressure. So basically, if I'm not mistaken throughout this whole story, I'm not knowing anything at this point. When they say tornadoes and all that, I'm thinking that, yeah, a tornado did destroy their town. Mile 54 with all these cars. What does this mean? What do they want? What are they having? Because I don't get it. What's the goal? What? I don't get this. Like, I know these are gangs and stuff. I know I'm an undercover agent, and I'm trying to find proof to nail them. It sounds like every other 911 and every law firm series I've ever watched, but I don't get this one. Mile 54 and all this. I'm pretty sure they'll explain it in the next episode, though. It's been with your AG. Yeah. Yeah.